Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Unnamed Prep Series. I hope you are very well. Hope you're sitting comfy. We are officially 4 weeks out. Technically, right now, we are actually 3 weeks and 6 days out. Not that I'm counting. But yeah, that's basically where we are at. So, we are going to get straight into it as usual. Scale weight wise, in a pretty good spot. So basically what happened is, to fill in the gaps, I went away to Valencia from Thursday to Saturday. So from Monday to Wednesday, my weight dropped from 71.8 to 71.2, which was great. I noticed that I just looked extremely conditioned before I went away. Obviously, when you go to a different country, there's going to be, number one, different foods. Also, step count was wild in Valencia. First and foremost, Valencia was fucking amazing, by the way. Maybe we'll get into that in just a second. Anyway, different food choices. Steps were absolutely ridiculous. And then also, just in general, flights skew my way in the next day, just from a simple standpoint of, I think it's just like, I don't think it's cabin pressure because... yeah, I don't think it's that at all. I just think I get a bit of like edema from flying, which is actually quite normal. But in any case, I actually got back at 72.2, so I actually gained a kilogram whilst I was away. However, that has actually dropped off this morning. So right now, I'm actually the same scale weight or same weight as I was before I went away to Valencia. So yeah, that's good. So basically, Monday to Wednesday was great. We actually did a 3-day refeed out in Valencia. The refeed, in my opinion, wasn't enough to shoot scale weight up a kilogram. And also, with the amount of steps, so my step count is 12.5k a day. My step count in Valencia was about 35 to 40,000 steps per day on average. So when you look at it that way, when you're only pushing up like an extra 500 calories per day, it's not really a refeed. It's more food to eat, but that the actual, like, I suppose, energy balance situation, I wouldn't class it as like refilling the tank, if that makes sense. So, and that kind of proved it when I obviously just got back into my calories yesterday in terms of Sunday, and it's just dropped right off, right? I don't, like, with me, traditionally refeed, if I start to refeed for like 2 days, I'd probably suspect 2 or 3 days into my... like back into a deficit is then back to baseline, rather than it being big spike up, big spike down. That to me tells me that we had a little bit of stress and we've just dropped it off, so that's all good. Again, could be from a multitude of different things, like doing way more steps than usual is obviously an external stressor on the body, and then also just flying in general, and then also different food choices. There's a whole host of different things here. Like I did notice actually on my MyFitnessPal, my sodium level is about 3 grams a day. It's pretty fucking consistent at 3 grams a day. And then on one day, because of like, we were basically going out to places to eat, but it weren't like, I went to supermarkets to eat and then had deli meat, because essentially that's all we could have whilst I was out and about. And then, yeah, I was up to like 10 to 11 grams of sodium per day, which is fucking nuts, but gotta get protein in, right? So that's that. Valencia itself, fucking epic city. If you're ever thinking about where should I go for a city break, Valencia is fucking awesome. Lots of things to do there, lots of good food that I obviously didn't eat, but Nat did and said that it was really nice. Weather's fantastic, vibe is really fantastic, really like, I suppose like really Spanish. Like if you've ever been to Spain, it's very much like, especially like Barcelona, Madrid, stuff like that, is very like commercialized, whereas it's like Valencia is like, they point blank refuse to speak English, which I actually really fucking love, because we're so obnoxious in the UK that it's just like, you have to speak my language for me to understand you, motherfucker. But like they won't speak English at all, which is great. Went to a Valencia game, FC, that was fucking awesome. Like we were right in the corner, like we were pretty much near the ultras, which was really cool, really epic. So yeah, just generally was a good time. The thing that I was really conscious about in terms of like being in prep and 4 weeks out was, yes, we're going away, which is obviously a little bit stressful, but I just didn't want to take away from the experience of being away. So say for example, like I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to remember Valencia by prep. I want to remember Valencia because I went to Valencia, you know? So I really actively tried to be as present as possible, even though energy levels weren't all the way there. I really tried to be as present and as, yeah, I suppose as present as fucking possible. That's all I'll say there. So, yeah, I honestly didn't want Nat to worry too much that I was in prep and like I was like slow for steps and stuff like that. I was really trying to be as on it as possible with that regard. So yeah, I think we handled that pretty nicely in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. Training is pretty good. It was kind of like almost like a deload last week. So I did my normal sessions up until Wednesday. I had a 3-day rest, which I'll be very fucking real, was really nice. Really nice to not actually being at a gym. Like I was gonna look for a gym whilst I was out there, but it got to like day 2 and I was just like, I am really not missing any single part of the gym right now. And then when I got back on Saturday night, I was like, I'm ready to go again. So it's almost like a mini deload, but I still hit my sessions because essentially yesterday I hit my last session of the week. So that's kind of the really good thing and the beauty of like 4-day splits as well, is that you can actually do that. Say for example, you are really busy on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for example, you can get all your sessions in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then have like a 3-day break and then get back to it on the Monday. That's kind of a really cool benefit of 4-day splits in my opinion. Very versatile, very life friendly. So yeah, in terms of nutrition, that's all in a good spot. Sleep was fucking incredible. I actually allowed myself a little bit of a lay-in. I actually allowed myself a bit of time off as well in Valencia, which was like something that I need to do a bit more of in my opinion. I'm not very good at taking time off, especially with like now running 2 businesses. I find it very hard to switch off. I did still find it hard to switch off in Valencia, but I suppose I can't run 2 businesses and not be totally off. Not at this stage of the businesses anyway, but yeah, it was quite nice to somewhat switch off. But yeah, I suppose like a part of me is still in that mindset of like, if I'm not at home doing this, then I'm not progressing the business. So that's kind of in my head as well. But anyway, in terms of actual like, how do I feel like 4 weeks out? Great. I still think 69 to 70 kilograms is the goal. So another kilogram and a half, maybe 2, is probably where we're going to be. And then it's just a case of just getting down there. I think when we catch up again, I think we're going to be in the 70s, maybe 70.5. Let's predict that. Lock it in. If I'm 70.5 next week, congratulate me in the comments. Anyway, hope you all. That was another update. I will speak to you soon. Enjoy your week. And yeah, catch up soon, brothers and sisters.